Assalamu alaikum. 9 p.m. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Muneeb Hamid. First, the headlines. Prime Minister has directed to accelerate the process of utilizing government lands for Naya Pakistan housing project. Pakistan says its armed forces are fully prepared to timely and appropriately respond to any Indian aggression or false flag operation. Director General Inter-Services Public Relations has said Army will not let anyone reverse stability of the country. Government has decided to file a reference in Supreme Judicial Council against Special Court Judge Justice Waqar Ahmed Seth. Special Court has issued a detailed judgment in high treason case against former President retired General Pervez Musharraf. The UN General Assembly has adopted Pakistan-sponsored resolution that reaffirms right of self-determination of the oppressed Kashmiri people in occupied Kashmir. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Imran Khan has directed the Chairman Federal Board of Revenue to ensure resolution of issues of builders and constructors on priority basis. During a meeting of the government's economic team in Islamabad today, he said 40 industries are linked to the construction sector and promotion of this sector will create job opportunities for the youth. The Prime Minister said removal of hurdles in the way of promotion of construction sector is among top priorities of the government. He also directed to accelerate the process of utilizing government lands for Naya Pakistan housing project. The Prime Minister also formed a committee to finalize proposals for promotion of remittances and facilitation of overseas Pakistanis. Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi says Pakistan's armed forces are fully prepared to timely and appropriately respond to any Indian aggression or false flag operation. In a video message in response to the Indian Army Chief's statement, he said, "The entire nation stands by its valiant armed forces." The Foreign Minister said, "We are a peaceful nation, but our desire for peace should not be misconstrued as a sign of weakness." Director General Inter-Services Public Relations Major General Asif Kapoor says the Army will not let anyone reverse stability of the country. Addressing a news conference in Rawalpindi this evening, he said, "Stability of the country has been attained after a lot of sacrifices and it will be protected at every cost." The Director General ISBR said attempts are being made to weaken the country domestically, but they will fail. He said chaos will not be allowed in the country and all sorts of nefarious designs of the enemy will be foiled. He said those who want to see confrontation among institutions of the country will fail. He said we will defend the country along with the prestige of the army. He said the country has been facing hybrid war and the armed forces understand well designs of the enemy and the response is also in place. Commenting on the Special Court's detailed judgment in high treason case against former President retired General Pervez Musharraf, the DGISPR said, "The words used in the verdict are beyond humanity, religion and values." Law Minister Farooq Naseem says the federal government has decided to file a reference in Supreme Judicial Council against Special Court Judge Justice Waqar Ahmed Seth for writing para 66 in the detailed judgment of the high treason case against former President General retired Pervez Musharraf. He was addressing a news conference along with Special Assistant on Information and Broadcasting Firdaus Ashikawan and Special Assistant on Accountability Shahzad Akbar in Islamabad this evening. He said Justice Waqar Ahmed's observations that law enforcement agencies should arrest Pervez Musharraf and if found dead, his dead body should be hanged at D Chowk in Islamabad for 3 days, which is against the law and the constitution and also unprecedented as well as despicable. The minister said public hanging is against the constitution and Islam. He said the observation of Justice Waqar Ahmed indicates that he is incompetent and unfit for the job. He said the senior judges of the Supreme Court should restrain Justice Waqar Ahmed for any administrative and judicial work. Speaking on the occasion, Shahzad Akbar said it is an issue of serious concern. He said para 66 in the detailed judgments is against the Constitution, Sharia law, and also international humanitarian law. He said there are 2 dissenting notes on the para. Earlier, the Special Court has issued detailed judgment in the high treason case against former President, retired General Pervez Musharraf. The 3-member court was headed by Peshawar High Court Chief Justice Waqar Ahmed Seth and comprised Justice Nazar Akbar of the Sindh High Court and Justice Shahid Karim of the Lahore High Court. The detailed judgment consists of 169 pages. It includes a dissenting note by Justice Nazar Akbar. This is Radio Pakistan. Special Assistant on Information and Broadcasting Firdaus Ashiqawan has urged media to play its role in strengthening national institutions in the best interest of the country. Addressing a function in Islamabad today, she said, media and democracy have a close relationship and both are complementary to each other. Firdaus Ashiqawan said ensuring transparency is the foremost priority of the incumbent government. A delegation of International Finance Corporation, headed by Regional Head of Operations Shabana Khavar, called on the Minister for Planning, Development and Special Initiative, Asad Umar, in Islamabad today. The delegation apprised the Minister of various initiatives in the private sector which are being supported by the IFC. The United Nations General Assembly has adopted Pakistan-sponsored resolution that reaffirms the right of self-determination and re-establishing the legitimacy of the oppressed Kashmir people's struggle for freedom from Indian occupation. Adopted by consensus, the resolution, which was co-sponsored by 81 world countries, has called on these countries to immediately cease their foreign military intervention and occupation of foreign countries and territories, as well as acts of repression, discrimination and maltreatment. The chairman of all parties Hurriyat Conference, Sayyid Ali Gilani, has said that, frustrated by the overwhelmingly growing public participation in the resistance movement, India is flagrant violation of the international law illegally and immorally, inhumanely and undemocratically announced to annex occupied Kashmir into the Indian Union. Sayyid Ali Gilani, in a statement in Srinagar, said that to implement the announcement made on August 5, India put the entire Kashmir region under an indefinite security lockdown and communications blackout. Different groups of Pakistanis, Kashmiris and Friends of Kashmir all across the world have launched a campaign on social media urging the people to boycott Indian products in protest against continued lockdown imposed by New Delhi in occupied Kashmir since 5th of August this year, and the discriminatory attitude meted out to the minorities in India. The campaigners say that India is getting away with its crimes in occupied Kashmir on the basis of its economy, and the world is turning a blind eye due to its economic interests. In India, authorities have cut cell phone access in parts of Delhi, and thousands of protesters nationwide defied bans on assembly in growing anger at a new citizenship law seen as anti-Muslim. Police and demonstrators clash in Uttar Pradesh state as security forces bundled demonstrators, including an internationally famous historian, onto buses in Delhi and Bangalore. U.S. envoy for reconciliation in Afghanistan, Zalmay Khalilzad, has said the peace talks with Taliban have reached at an important stage. In a series of tweets, he termed his 2-day visit to Kabul as productive. And finally, the weather. Dense fog is likely to prevail in most plain areas of Punjab and Upper Sindh. Cloudy weather is expected in most parts of the country during the next 12 hours. However, light rain drizzle is expected at a few places. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analysis, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk. And also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com, Radio Pakistan News Official.